This video is for educational and historical purposes only. It may contain scenes some viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Up next on today's Wild West, riding the Tucson Desert in August.
It's very good. And Germany is so cold.
It's cold.
We'll show you why a summer visit to the White Stallion Ranch is much cooler than you might expect. Then, driving cattle with a California ranch family who've been keeping the cowboy tradition alive since the wagon train days. Saddle up, today's Wild West, just ahead. The Wild West. It's still out there. And we'll show you how to find it. This is today's Wild West.
All right, guys, let's go.
Fast riding in the Arizona desert. Team penning. Biking. Target shooting. And so much more. At the White Stallion Ranch. And it's all happening in August outside nearby Tucson, where the official temperature will hit 110 degrees.
It's hot today.
But you're smiling anyway, though.
But for the guests who come here from all over the world,
Why you can't help but smile at this page.
the weather is perfect.
What would you say to people that would say it's too hot to come here this time of year?
No, we love the heat.
We love this.
We love this. This is very good. And Germany is so cold.
It's cold.
The White Stallion is a 3,000-acre oasis of Old West Arizona. While you're just minutes from the outskirts of Tucson, drive through the ranch gate and it feels like you're a million miles away. That's because the ranch lies in a bowl surrounded by mountains, sharing a border with Saguaro National Park. Look in the right direction, and it's the same view Geronimo and Wyatt Earp would have seen back in the day. No air conditioning then, and for years the White Stallion was a winter destination, open when the rest of the country was buried in snow and closed during the hot months of summer.
That's some view.
That changed in 2009 when the White Stallion went year-round, and guests are happy they did.
Our first time here.
First time and not the last time. We'll be back.
The year before, we only stayed for 1 week here. This year, we are 2.5 weeks here.
Summer here is especially popular with Europeans.
That's the reason we came here, because it was so hot. I googled hot, no monsoon, horses, and got Arizona.
I like the heat. Especially coming from England.
Well, it's amazing. I love nature, I love the ride, cool people, brings the people together. I like it.
Visitors this week came from Switzerland, China, Sweden, New Zealand, Germany, and the UK. And the home flag of every guest flies at the ranch during their stay.
You know, we get a kick out of that. Our little dude ranch out in the Arizona desert, and we might have 8 different countries here at any one time.
Eric Christensen came here from San Diego with his 2 sons.
If I did this in Southern California, it'd be triple the price and 20 times the people. The White Stallion offers everything during the summer that they do the rest of the year, but at a discount of about 30%. That includes your room, the food, the horses, and a bunch of other great activities.
Like rock climbing, power-assisted fat tire bike rides, and the very popular target shooting. More on all those in just a bit. But the main attraction at a Western ranch, of course, is the horses. But how do you carry on a riding program in the scorching heat? There is no denying it's hot here in the summertime. But the White Stallion copes with the heat by simply rearranging its scheduled activities, making it easier on the humans and the horses.
Like anybody in hot climates, we work around the temperatures, and so we start early.
Morning, 74 degrees.
First ride heads out at 7 in the morning, and at that time of day, with temps in the 70s, it's darn near perfect. The 2 regularly scheduled morning trail rides are done by 10:30 or so, ending just in time to miss the heat of the day. With the exception of optional late morning riding lessons, the horses get a break until 5 in the afternoon. They'll spend that downtime in a shaded corral with plenty of water and cooled by a fan. And at the start of the day, many of the horses get suntan lotion applied to keep their noses from burning in the summer sun.
Normally the ones who have white noses, then they get sunburnt really bad. The black blocks out the sun better than any other color.
The White Stallion keeps a close eye on the health of all of its beloved horses, using a heat index formula to monitor conditions as the day wears on.
And it's simple. You take the temperature, you add the humidity, and you deduct the wind speed.
So if it's 100 degrees, add 20% humidity, deduct a 10-mile-an-hour wind, and you get a heat index of 110. Only when that number gets over 130 is there a potential for problems.
Then we need to be mindful when we get above an index of 130. Now, honestly, here we just don't very often, and our big advantage is that low humidity.
Lightning and heavy rain from summer monsoons can be a bigger obstacle, but the year I visited, only one ride had been canceled all summer. We did get some weather, as the sky put on quite a show every night. We savored Arizona sunsets that were like a magnificent painting lasting for hours. It's just a beautiful place to be. Warm nights and calm weather are perfect for outdoor dining on the patio, and the ambiance makes it easy to meet and mingle and share meals with fascinating new friends from all over the world. Dessert included evening entertainment like Gunspitter, Whip Cracker, and Trick Roper, Luke Rollins.
Even jumped right there like some kind of crazy cowboy.
And one evening, a special bonus, an intimate concert from up-and-coming country singer-songwriter Jenna Paulette. Here from Nashville on a songwriting retreat with 3 friends. Mark Trussell, Jordan Minton, and Jordan Reynolds have each written songs recorded by such country music stars as Blake Shelton, Keith Urban, and Lady Antebellum. Jen is a true country girl and took a songwriting break to join us for a White Stallion trail ride. This ride included a mountain trek on a trail known as Suicide Pass, a dramatic name for a memorable ride, one of many. Riding the Sonoran Desert gives you a close-up look at a place so beautiful it doesn't even seem real. And it's so full of life. Saguaro cactus are especially intriguing. They're all different. Endlessly fascinating to look at, and there's at least 15,000 on the ranch. It's especially relaxing to sightsee in the desert while sitting on such a well-trained horse.
Oh, just the variety of rides, and the horses are all so well-mannered.
And we were surprised how much riding we do, even though it's this hot. We thought maybe 2 hours a day, but we're getting 3-4 hours a day.
And the fast rides are a favorite.
The White Stallion keeps about 150 horses for a riding program designed to satisfy everyone from experts to brand new beginners. And if you've never been in the saddle, this is a great place to start.
So you guys know me, but I'm Shania.
Daily optional riding lessons provide one-on-one instruction.
I'd like to do the fast ride.
Okay.
Wrangler Shania was our trainer.
4 things: hand down.
Yep.
Yep. Heels down.
Yep.
Lean back. And then the last one's going to be to relax.
Helping Tim learn to lope.
So, hand forward. We'll ask him for the speed. Yep. Great job.
And Marilyn learned to breathe.
Yeah, that's feeling good. Good. Excellent. Yep.
It takes time to master, of course, but if you want to, you'll go home knowing how to ride.
We all learn things from horses as much as we teach them, right?
Even experienced riders can benefit from lesson time.
It's the easy ambience and encouraging upbeat ambience, which puts you at ease in a situation where you tend not to be at ease.
The White Stallion sets you up for success because they're experts at matching the right rider with the right horse.
He was rescued from the Navajo reservation.
and guests can get pretty darn attached to those animals.
And the trader that found him said, it's the most beautiful horse he's ever seen. And when I saw him, I said, it's the most beautiful horse I've ever seen.
Bunny comes every August from Florida. You don't mind the heat?
No, and I used to live in Tucson.
No one complains in what we really call the summer, June, July, and August, or few people complain, I'll say that. And I think it's because the expectations are on target.
You can put your riding skills to the test in the White Stallion's signature event, team penning. Teams of 4 riders take off in the big riding arena to cut 3 cows out of the herd and drive them into a pen, which can sometimes look a lot easier than it actually is. You got to get all 3 in that pen.
Nobody's helping me.
Up, 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 up.
Some people can do this in 14 seconds.
I help you, I help you.
It can take others a bit longer. But no matter how long it takes, it's always good fun. And a chance to learn a bit about driving cattle. We'd return to the riding arena as spectators for the White Stallion's weekly rodeo demonstration. The Trews are a cowboy family. All expert riders, ropers, and even barrel racers.
Oh, here's my aunt on one of her roping horses.
On this evening, Stephen provides the play-by-play for the guests.
We like to narrate so everybody, knows the history and everything behind the events and knows why we're doing what we're doing.
The Trews and their friends show us how it's done, some of whom compete in professional rodeo. The entire family is hands-on in running every aspect of this ranch. For example, you'll see Russell's wife Laura saddling horses, his brother Michael, son Stephen, and Stephen's wife Alice behind the grill at the breakfast ride. That's a great way to start the day. Saddle up at 7 for a ride to the big picnic area to enjoy a traditional hot breakfast, great company, and beautiful scenery. Russell and Michael's parents bought the ranch in 1965 and built the then 200-acre property into today's 3,000-acre White Stallion Ranch. And the buildings include the original adobes from the CB cattle ranch of the early 1900s. On those adobe walls hang the Western paintings of Russell's great uncle, artist Alan True, who created the bronc riding cowboy you see on Wyoming license plates.
Yeah, exciting actually. I've always wanted to come back to the ranch and work here.
Stephen True and his brother David, who was out of town during our visit, are the 3rd generation of Trews to run the White Stallion.
Went to college and worked a couple years elsewhere because the family said they wanted me to get some other experience, but I've been back full time 7 years now, and it's exciting, and I'm excited to take over one day.
Can you say hi?
Hi. And there's a new family member who's a special favorite with the guests, Russell and Laura's daughter, Reagan.
We say yeehaw.
Yeehaw. The family, the True family, it's very...
In many ways, the family is the ranch.
And then they get to meet us and we get to know them, and that's what I think makes the ranch the ranch.
They certainly set the relaxed tone of friendly Western hospitality.
I think what we bring to the ranch is a history and a culture. Our generation, my brothers and mine, and now the 3rd generation with Stephen and Alice and David, and someday maybe Reagan, we all grew up in it. That's all we've ever known.
That includes the heat. But when it's especially hot here in mid-afternoon, summer guests can take refuge in the pool or check out the gift shop. And there's always an afternoon activity in an air-conditioned room, like the leather workshop.
Nice work.
Get to see what goes into building saddles and boots and all that kind of fun stuff.
Er macht auch hier so und dann so ein Bindestrich.
There's also a hands-on course in the area's rich Native American history.
Well, these are kind of like your Tupperware of the day.
Which includes the chance to grind corn with the actual stone artifacts the Indians used long ago.
Can you imagine doing that?
Yeah, I was just saying that to Sue, yeah. I mean,
all day long.
All day long.
gives you an appreciation for the modern supermarket. Or you might enjoy the weekly horsemanship clinic. It's a chance to discover what this thing some call horse whispering is all about.
That licking and chewing there.
And going right up to her.
The natural approach would be to, instead of bending the horse to our will, we're understanding more about it and working with it. So Ross, we just finished up our class, but I saw you and I said you might do one poem for us.
Our clinic ended with a surprise bonus, cameo visit from famed cowboy poet Ross Knox.
When you get what you want and your struggle for wealth in the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself. See what that man has to say. It isn't your father, your mother, your wife whose judgment upon you must pass. The fella whose verdict counts most in your life is the man staring back from the glass.
Now, if riding and horses are not your cup of tea, there's still plenty else to do with the Ranch Adventure Package.
And this is on the real mountain.
Starting with rock climbing.
And we have 37 climbs. We're the biggest on-site private climbing destination in America, from beginner to advanced climbs.
If that's a bit too strenuous, check out e-biking. The fat-tired bikes are perfect for the desert and come with an electric motor.
They're pretty fun. Everybody loves them.
You can keep it turned off and get a good workout, or crank that engine up to 5 and just sit back and enjoy the ride. But the most popular adventure activity,
nice shot,
is target shooting. Using a cowboy-style lever-action .22 rifle and a .22 single-action pistol.
This is single action, so you have to pull the hammer back because the trigger only drops the hammer. There's only one action.
You'll first get expert instruction.
So you want to keep it pointed down range, only point it at the targets.
And you can bring that finger like underneath too, just like that.
Followed by safely supervised target shooting at the ranch rifle range.
If we can get them here with these other things and give them other things to do so the whole family can have fun, or somebody who wasn't quite sure, they want to taste riding, but what if it isn't their thing, then they're reassured by the other options. We think it'll work. It's sure making people that are here happy.
And everybody has fun on the weekly wagon ride. A late afternoon sunset jaunt through the desert that includes onboard margaritas for the adults.
Yeah, Mark, pretty good sunset.
Yeah, it is. It's all fun stuff.
Yeah, this is good fun.
And I especially loved being up at sunrise, listening to the quiet of the early morning desert, soaking it all in.
It doesn't look like 110 heat now.
No. I admit, I wondered what it'd be like to come here during the summer.
Alrighty guys, let's go.
But I discovered that even in the heat, the White Stallion is pretty close to paradise. Up next, growing up cowboy with the Carver family.
What's fun about it?
Everything.
Driving cattle since the California Gold Rush. We'll ride along just ahead. It's well before sunup on a cold Sunday morning in late November, just outside the tiny hamlet of Glenville, California. 8-year-old Paisley Carver holds the lead rope for her 9-year-old brother Zane, as he tightens up the saddle on his horse Pickles. They are the 7th generation of Carvers to saddle up in the dark at a family ranch that dates back to the 1870s. Today, they'll ride with their father, grandfather, and other family members and friends on the annual Carver Family Cattle Drive. Here in the Sierra Nevada foothills, about an hour up a windy highway east of Bakersfield, the Carvers drive their cattle 25 miles every fall as they move the herd from its summer grazing permit in the mountains to a warmer winter pasture at a lower elevation.
The summer pastures are clear up on the Sequoia National Forest, and it's all snowy and cold up there, but that's their summer pastures, and their winter pastures are down on the valley floor.
The annual fall trek down California Highway 155, once a wagon road, takes 3 days, a family tradition that dates back to 1947.
Yeah, been doing it
twice a year since I was, before I can remember.
Joel Carver grew up on the ranch his dad Nathan still runs. Today, Joel raises horses and shoes them as well, working as a farrier in the Fresno area. And her name is?
Quincy.
Quincy.
Quincy Joy.
Wife Shane is a riding instructor, and their 3 kids are growing up horseback. Paisley and Zane have long been accomplished, confident riders, already regular winners in barrel racing and horse shows, and both are good hands on a cattle drive. 2-year-old sister Quincy isn't far behind.
Tell him, Q. Tell him, hey, cows. Hey, cows.
So she'll be on this drive next year then, huh?
Next year, she'll be riding down the road. Start him young.
Nathan's 4 adult children return home when they can to help with the drive.
Yep, since I was little.
This year, only Joel and his sister Esther could make it.
Getting on the horse all bundled up in your jacket and not being able to move, and yeah.
You having fun up there, Hattie? And now Esther's young daughter Hattie will have her own memories of growing up horseback on the cattle drive. Earlier, after loading horses in the dark, dawn was breaking as we unloaded the trailer at the corral where the cattle had spent the second night of the 3-day cattle drive.
My dad used to bridle my horse, and now I get to bridle my kids' horses. So.
With a boost into the saddle from their dad, Paisley and Zane were horseback in the corral. Nathan and Joel quickly joined them to push the herd out the pasture and through the gate. And before it was even officially sunrise, the Carvers had their herd headed down the asphalt trail. Not much traffic on a Sunday on remote Highway 155. Carvers seem to know most everybody who does come by.
They get off to Betsy. Good to see you.
Good to see you. We raised Black Angus.
Family friend Clara Anthony is here to help out. The 17-year-old is from a neighboring ranching family. And growing up horseback, she's an experienced hand the Carvers are glad to have along.
Been doing it ever since I can remember.
Clara rides with a rope in her hand for most of the day. She's a rodeo girl who competes in team roping.
This is really good practice for branding pins.
Okay, right there. 1, 2. Nice. You gotta let
Young Zane is working on his roping too, with Dad coaching.
Takes a lot of practice.
It's not an easy skill to master.
A lot of practice. Spend all day with a rope in your hand.
And roping is a very necessary skill in this ranching family.
This is a good time for him to practice his heeling for the branding pin.
It's not long before we see Joel putting his roping skills to use. A calf is somehow snuck under a barbed wire fence, and Joel takes off to catch it. He soon has the young animal roped and tied and back with the herd. Paisley's working on her roping too. Not easy to rope and dally when you're just 8 years old, but she does get it done. The Carvers have high expectations for their kids, who are counted on to do their part on the cattle drive, and they don't disappoint. It's hard work, but hey, riding horses, pushing cows, and throwing a rope is pretty fun as well.
Fun? Yeah.
What's fun about it?
Everything.
There's definitely that fun element, but it is also hard work. It's a good kind of hard work where you're at the end of the day when you're tired, you know that you accomplished something.
Just days before Thanksgiving, we're lucking out with the weather.
We're moving right along at a nice steady pace. That's what we need to do.
While snow is rare in this country, November can be wet and cold.
On a rainy day where it's just raining all day long is probably the worst to be out in. You gotta finish it up and you're just wet and miserable all day.
But it's almost too nice. After an overnight low in the 20s, the temperature warmed up into the 60s. But that much heat is hard on the cattle, who move much better when it's cool. Slow down as the day wears on.
Yeah, they're tired this afternoon. Way too hot for wintertime.
Even under the best conditions, the cattle drive can be hard on the cows.
Yeah, the cattle drive's very stressful on the cows. Any kind of moving is.
Not easy on the Carvers either.
It's a very big challenge to take 160 pairs and drive them 25 miles and get them all there safely and with their cows, and each one has their babies and the crew and everything, get it all done. It's quite a challenge.
This is Nathan's livelihood going down the road and your food supply. And it's serious business. This is not a dude ranch, and it's rare for even family guests to be invited to ride along.
This is a very stressful time to get through, and it just adds more stress to it. They have to pay a whole lot to be able to make it worth it.
This cattle drive starts before sunrise because the day's work will last until sunset. With young calves just a couple months old, you have to push these cows every step of the way. Nathan and the family spend much of the day pushing the cows on foot and chasing them out of roadside ditches. The Carvers have been pushing cows for generations. Nathan's ancestors came west by wagon train in the gold rush days of the 1850s, settling in this area in the 1870s. And the Carvers have been raising cattle in this country ever since.
What you doing?
I'm gonna go turn some water on.
This is the other California, and a way different lifestyle than crowded Los Angeles, less than 3 hours away. The late afternoon shadows are beginning to stretch out.
Wait, that's where we're going.
When Nathan spots our destination.
Yep, it's in sight.
As we approach, horses on a neighboring place gallop up to see what's happening. A beautiful sight. And it's a beautiful sight for everyone. As the cows finally come off the highway and into their winter pasture. The drive is done, but the work is not.
Hey, we're all here, but now we have to separate pairs.
There's still another hour or more of sorting to do. The animals need to go into different pastures, and everybody works together to cut cows out of the herd and get the right animals in the right place. Daylight's almost gone by the time they get her done, but finally, it's over.
Yep, we're all done. Now we're all done. That feels really good.
Quite an accomplishment. But then, the Carvers have accomplished a lot since those wagon trains came west all those years ago. And from the looks of Paisley and Zane and the rest of this horseback family, the Carver cowboy traditions will be in good hands and providing food for the rest of us for generations to come. That's it for now. We're back next time with more cool stuff from today's Wild West. I'm Mark Bedore. We'll see you down the trail. For more information on the people and places featured in today's Wild West, or to order show DVDs and books, visit todayswildwest.com. Funding for Today's Wild West provided by the Leggett Foundation and the Chuck Wagon Trail Riders Foundation.